You want the nunches?
Tell him we going for Canelo next.
Yes. Let's
him.
go. Canelo, come on.
You heard it from him.
At 36, Terence Crawford has made one thing clear. He's only interested in legacy-defining fights. And right now, a showdown with Canelo Alvarez looks like the biggest and most exciting option on the table. Crawford has had his sights set on this fight for months, and now it's finally happening. For Canelo, it's the perfect opportunity to cement his legacy as one of the greatest fighters of this era. With His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh backing the event, they've managed to lock it in. Canelo has officially agreed to the deal. Crawford's recent win over Errol Spence Jr. was a career-defining moment. He didn't just win, he dominated. The victory unified the welterweight division and secured his spot in boxing history. Known as Bud, Crawford put on a masterclass, showing off his precision, power, and ring IQ from the opening bell. Spence, once seen as his biggest threat, couldn't keep up. Crawford outclassed him in every round and stopped him in the ninth, making history as the first male boxer to go undefeated in two weight divisions during the four-belt era.
Made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better. No, Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He's a good fighter, but like I say, he's weight classes for a reason.
After his incredible performance against Spence, Crawford is aiming even higher. He's now going after Canelo Alvarez, a superstar who fights 3 weight classes above him and is arguably the biggest name in boxing. For Crawford, this isn't just about winning another fight, it's about legacy. He's not interested in easy opponents or safe bets. He wants to prove he's the best, and facing Canelo is the boldest way to do it. Canelo, on the other hand, hasn't been too eager to take the fight. Despite Crawford's impressive achievements, Canelo has repeatedly brushed off the idea, saying he wouldn't get much credit for beating a smaller guy. Fighting at 168 pounds, Canelo sees Crawford, who last competed at 147, as someone outside his weight class and not a real threat in terms of size and power. At first, he flat-out rejected Crawford's challenge and even suggested he take on Teofimo Lopez instead, a move many saw as Canelo dodging the fight.
To fight Teofimo first, and then we'll see, right? At the end of the day, like I said before, I'm not asking for that fight. They want to make that fight because it's a payday, obviously. But I don't want that fight. I think.
But Crawford didn't back off. As more fans and boxing experts began calling for the fight, pressure started building on Canelo. Staying true to his style, Crawford kept challenging him publicly, and demand for the matchup kept growing. Then things got interesting after Canelo's recent bout with Edgar Berlanga. Most expected it to be a routine win for the Mexican superstar. Berlanga, though undefeated, was considered a big underdog and not quite at Canelo's level. The fight started as expected. Canelo dominated early and even dropped Berlanga in the third round with a clean left hook. It looked like the fight was heading toward an early finish. But Berlanga surprised everyone. He got up, shook it off, and came back swinging. While Canelo clearly won the fight and landed nearly half of his power shots, Berlanga managed to go the full 12 rounds, something few expected. The fight ended in a majority decision heavily in Canelo's favor, but the fact that he couldn't stop Berlanga left some people wondering if Canelo was starting to show signs of slowing down. Canelo hasn't scored a knockout since stopping Caleb Plant in the 11th round back in November 2021. Since then, he's gone the distance in 5 straight fights. That's led some fans to question whether the once-feared finisher is starting to lose his knockout power. While his loyal supporters remain fully behind him, his inability to stop Berlanga sparked fresh debate about what's next for him. Even though he won the fight, the spotlight quickly shifted to his future. During the post-fight press conference, Canelo was asked about potential opponents, including Terence Crawford. But instead of giving a clear answer, Canelo chose not to comment, which only added to the sense that he still wasn't taking the fight seriously.
Down, put out an open challenge to you on the internet with Turkey Al-Sheikh calling you out. What's your response to Terence Crawford's call out tonight?
No comments.
Behind the scenes, things were shifting. The money on the table for a Crawford fight has gone up significantly. Not long ago, Canelo was criticized for demanding too much, which led both His Excellency and even Oscar de la Hoya to call the fight unrealistic. But after Canelo's underwhelming performance against Berlanga, Team Crawford and the Saudi backers saw an opportunity. They felt Canelo wasn't at his best, and that changed everything.
Manny Canelo, a legend recognizes another young beast. Well done on both these.
And maybe it was that shaky performance that boosted Team Crawford's confidence. They truly believe Crawford can beat Canelo. That belief likely played a role in them finally agreeing to Canelo's financial demands. As one of the highest-paid athletes in the world, Canelo's choices often come down to the purse, and this situation was no different. While he had previously brushed off the idea of fighting Crawford, the new, much bigger offer clearly got his attention.
Realistically left your mind once he said he's not interested, or you still pursuing it?
Not at all. I think business talk.
Now, Canelo is finally open to the idea of facing Crawford, but there's one important condition. The deal has to make financial sense. Considering Canelo's star status and the massive paychecks he pulls in, that's no surprise. For Crawford, this could be the opportunity he's been waiting for, a chance to take on boxing's biggest name and secure the biggest fight of his career.
Easy work. I heard him say, I'm easy work. If I was easy work, you would take all that money that he's offering you. But yet and still, he want 200 million for Benavidez, and he want 150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat.
Canelo's willingness to consider the fight has brought the spotlight back on what could be a massive showdown. An undisputed champion versus undisputed champion, each from different weight classes. It's the kind of matchup that would grab worldwide attention. For Crawford, the stakes are enormous. This is more than just another fight. It's the ultimate legacy moment. A chance to jump up 3 weight divisions and take on one of the modern era's biggest stars.
Stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won. He went up and lost. So let's not.
While Crawford is fully focused on Canelo, there's a chance Canelo might choose a different path. His team is also considering other opponents, and one of the most talked about options is a rematch with Dmitry Bivol. The Russian light heavyweight champion handed Canelo his second career loss in May 2022, outboxing him over 12 rounds with a mix of size and skill. Canelo has wanted a rematch ever since, but negotiations have hit a wall due to Bivol's demands. Interestingly, Bivol has said multiple times that he's open to dropping down to 168 pounds for a rematch with Canelo. He wants to prove his win wasn't just because of a size advantage. If Bivol does move down to super middleweight, it would add a whole new level of significance to the rematch. However, with Bivol currently scheduled to face Artur Beterbiev in a light heavyweight unification bout this October, the timing for a second fight with Canelo remains unclear.
Sensational. Artur Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol.
Another option for Canelo is to keep defending his super middleweight titles against rising, undefeated challengers. Fighters like Christian Bilai and Diego Pacheco are both highly ranked in the division and could offer fresh matchups. Andy, in particular, is known for his aggressive, high-energy style, which could make for an entertaining fight. However, neither Bilai nor Pacheco is currently seen as a real threat to dethrone Canelo. Still, even with those options on the table, a fight with Terence Crawford clearly stands out. The financial rewards are massive, and the matchup would easily be one of the biggest events in modern boxing. For Canelo, it's a chance to quiet critics who say he's been avoiding the toughest challenges. For Crawford, it's an opportunity to prove he can hang with, and possibly beat, one of the sport's all-time greats, even with the size gap. Of course, there are details to sort out. Weight is a key issue. Canelo fights at 168 pounds, while Crawford's last bout was at 147. A catch weight is the most likely solution, but the exact number will need to be negotiated. The purse split is another factor, with Canelo expected to take the larger share, thanks to his superstar status and global appeal.
Johnny Boy Boxing Fight Hype. I just want to ask you, what do you think about Terence Crawford? What do we think about Terence Crawford's performance, and do you want to get a fight with him?
If the money is right, I mean...
$100 million? I heard Turkey offered you a big...
The fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford hasn't been officially confirmed yet, but with the financials falling into place and Canelo now open to the idea, momentum is clearly building. Both fighters have shown genuine interest, and with fans, media, and promoters all pushing for it, the chances of this mega fight becoming a reality are stronger than ever. Canelo has made it clear the deal must be financially right, but all signs point to that happening soon. For Crawford, this is more than just another big name. It's the ultimate challenge and legacy-defining opportunity. Having conquered 4 weight divisions, Crawford is now eyeing a massive leap to super middleweight, 2 full classes above his usual fighting weight. His only bout above 147 pounds was a win at 154 against Israel Madrimov on August 3rd in Los Angeles, where his cautious, tactical style raised questions about how he'd handle the size and power of heavier fighters. Still, the intrigue around this fight keeps growing, and the gap in size only adds to the drama of what could be one of the biggest matchups in modern boxing. Crawford versus Alvarez is gaining momentum, but Canelo has expressed concern that beating Crawford might not earn him the credit he feels he deserves. Despite Crawford's impressive 41-0 record with 31 knockouts, Canelo believes the public would downplay the win because Crawford is a naturally smaller fighter. He's even said that defeating someone like David Benavidez, a true super middleweight, would be seen as a bigger accomplishment. Ironically, Canelo hasn't fought Benavidez yet either. The size gap is also a key reason why Canelo is reportedly demanding a 9-figure payday to face Crawford. It's a high-risk move. He's expected to win, but any misstep could hurt his reputation, and even a win might not fully silence critics. Still, the fight has captured the imagination of fans and media alike. It's a rare meeting between 2 pound-for-pound greats, each chasing legacy. While Crawford would enter as the underdog, especially due to his limited experience at higher weights, the bout would generate huge mainstream buzz and remains the most exciting option for Canelo, especially if he continues to avoid a showdown with the hard-hitting, undefeated WBC interim champ, David Benavidez. The potential showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford could generate massive revenue and is shaping up to be arguably the biggest fight in boxing right now. But it's not just about weight classes and paychecks. Behind-the-scenes tensions are also in play. A major hurdle is Canelo's strained relationship with Turki Alshik, one of the most influential figures in boxing today, thanks to the huge financial backing he's brought to the sport. Canelo's refusal to fight David Benavidez caused a public rift between the two, with Alshik openly criticizing him online for ducking the matchup. Despite this fallout, the sheer amount of money on the table could still bring them back together. Canelo, already one of the wealthiest athletes in the sport, has always balanced business with boxing. If the Crawford fight proves financially worthwhile, he may be willing to set aside personal conflicts to make it happen. He's shown before that criticism doesn't faze him, like when he chose to fight Edgar Berlanga, a move many fans questioned, but one he pursued because it made financial sense. Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford are both nearing the final stages of their legendary careers, and a fight between them now represents the biggest opportunity for legacy and financial reward. While Crawford is smaller and has limited experience at higher weight classes, his undefeated record and status as a future Hall of Famer give the matchup real credibility. Canelo has shown he's unfazed by criticism when the business makes sense, and the same applies here. Both fighters are less interested in facing the younger, riskier names in their divisions. Crawford is steering clear of rising threats like Virgil Ortiz Jr. and IBF champion Jaron "Boots" Ennis, while Canelo continues to sidestep contenders like David Benavidez. These younger challengers could enhance their legacies, but they don't bring the same financial or headline value as a showdown between 2 established stars. Crawford, who turns 37 in September, understands the business just as well as Canelo. A 9-figure payday, especially with the backing of Turki Alshik, makes a fight with Alvarez far more appealing and practical than taking on high-risk, low-reward bouts with up-and-coming opponents. Terence Crawford appears fully committed to taking on the biggest challenge of his career, stepping into the ring with Canelo Alvarez, a stronger, bigger, elite-level fighter. Naturally, this bold move has sparked criticism, with some accusing Crawford of chasing a massive payday instead of true greatness. But Crawford isn't backing down. He's made it clear that at this point in his career, he's only interested in the biggest fights and the biggest rewards, and right now, Canelo offers both. Shortly after Canelo's latest fight, Crawford took to X, formerly Twitter, and sent a clear message. "Put me in the game, coach." It was short, direct, and confident. Crawford is ready. Though he's already an undefeated 4-division world champion and one of the sport's pound-for-pound best, facing Canelo would require him to jump 2 full weight classes to 168 pounds. It's a massive leap, but if he can pull off the upset, it would be a legacy-defining moment. Meanwhile, Turki Alshik, now a major figure in boxing, has thrown his support behind the idea, saying he's prepared to put serious money into making this blockbuster fight a reality. According to ESPN's Mike Coppinger, Turki Alshik made it clear that he's serious about making the Crawford vs. Canelo fight happen. He said, "I'll give Canelo what I believe is a fair price. If he agrees, he'll deal with me directly, no one in the middle." Alshik also reaffirmed his promise to Crawford, stating he wants Canelo as Crawford's next opponent, and Crawford wants the same. His comments show just how committed he is to delivering this blockbuster bout, which has the potential to capture worldwide attention. By pushing for direct negotiations with Canelo and cutting out promotional middlemen, Alshik hopes to fast-track the deal and avoid the usual delays that often slow down major boxing matchups.
Before, and this is my opinion, I don't start to talking about these things. He start and he said he respects me, and but he doesn't like what we are doing in boxing. That's why I said what I said.
However, there's one catch. Turki Alshik hinted that Canelo's high financial demands could still be a sticking point. He stated, "If Canelo gets unreasonable with his price, I'll still make sure Crawford gets a big fight." Alshik remains fully committed to making the Crawford vs. Canelo fight happen, but made it clear he won't let inflated demands stop Crawford from securing a major payday. With the financial pieces now seemingly falling into place, a blockbuster showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford could be just around the corner. What do you think? Should this fight happen next? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more boxing updates. See you next time.